Mais désolé évidemment, OBS a craché au moment où on est rentré dans la salle. Ce qui fait que vous avez juste raté le début de la conversation avec le président qui se trouvait dans la salle. Où il nous disait qu'on était la pièce manquante à la petite touche finale. Voilà, rien de particulier. Donc là on va continuer la conversation avec lui du coup. Alors, hop. Et donc, on va lui dire, président Rockwell, je présume.
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Phineas préférerait mourir plutôt que de coopérer.
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
Le psychopathe est en train de sauver tous les colons surgelés que vous avez abandonnés.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
We're helping, which is more than you can say.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way.
Si vous voulez bien coopérer, on n'en serait pas là. Vous savez que ça ne m'avait pas traversé l'esprit honnêtement, c'était pour donner un coup de main. Vous préférez qu'on continue de foncer tête baissée vers l'anéantissement peut-être? Moi je peux tout arranger. Bah, si vous voulez bien coopérer, on n'en serait pas là.
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help.
Byzance nous a déjà ralliés contre vous. Ce n'est plus qu'une question de jours. Avec vos ressources et des renforts de l'espoir, nous pourrions accomplir de grandes choses. On va prendre la première.
You have? Is that what you were doing at the Ministry? Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
On arrivera peut-être enfin à vous trouver une utilité. Vous avez intérêt. Dans le cas contraire, je viendrai m'occuper de vous. Parfait. Allez, on est reparti. F5 à nouveau, parce que... tout moment ça bug. Alors... droite ou gauche, ça a pas trop d'importance, j'ai l'impression. On va à la gauche.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and
What the fuss is about
Fight!
a blasted lab coat? Fugitive's a fugitive. Let it go. The chairman! Bring him down! Waste the company out! Bring him down!
Allez-y les gars. Elle est trop stylée cette mission avec tout le monde là. Non, c'est OBS qui a crash. Le jeu marche bien, mais OBS a crash encore.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
C'est fini, Sophie a abandonné.
I'm afraid I can't do that. You're a natural leader, Captain. The loyalty of your crew is beyond reproach. Here they are, following you to the bitter end. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy.
Je suis là pour Phineas. Relâchez-le.
You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony.
Ne me provoquez pas, Sophia, c'est mauvais pour votre santé. On peut peut-être discuter.
Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me.
Croyez-moi, il ne fait pas bon mourir sur Tartare. Je vous laisse une chance de fuir.
Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable of taking you on.
Jusqu'ici, personne n'a pu m'arrêter. Vous croyez que vous y arriverez?
Fair point. I don't know how you've managed to defy the odds. By every reasonable estimate, you should be dead. Yet here you stand. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty.
Le conseil ne mérite pas qu'on meure pour lui. Ne me parlez pas de devoir, vous n'êtes pas un soldat. Vous n'êtes qu'une psychopathe dans le déni. Alcyon est en train de s'écrouler. Si votre devoir était de protéger la colonie, alors vous avez échoué. Le conseil ne mérite pas qu'on meure pour lui. Ou bien... On va prendre la 3.
Don't you think I know that? Yes, I made mistakes. Costly mistakes. Leaving you alive was the worst of them all. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
J'ai détruit vos expériences au ministère, votre plan ne fonctionnera jamais.
Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. By the way, those test subjects you killed, they died in agony. My scientists assure me they can recover the data you've destroyed. You've succeeded in temporarily delaying our research. Nothing more.
Vos scientifiques vous ont menti, leurs recherches sont truffées d'erreurs. Vos scientifiques sont des menteurs, j'ai ruiné toutes vos données, il n'y a rien à faire. Cette expérience a été mal conçue, toutes vos données sont fausses. Science.
That isn't true. It can't be. You're trying to manipulate me. That experiment was absolutely essential to the program. My scientists assured me they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word.
Ils t'ont menti, hein? Vous savez bien que j'ai raison, je le vois dans vos yeux.
Damn you. You are telling the truth. My scientists have been lying to me, and I was stupid enough to trust them at their word. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, all those experiments. You've set us back decades. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still put a stop to you.
Vous pouvez répéter, je n'ai pas entendu, j'étais en train de neutraliser votre système de sécurité.
What? You can't be serious.
Oh que non, je ne plaisante pas, il fallait juste que je vous fasse parler pour que je gagne du temps. Je vais vider tout l'oxygène qui se trouve dans votre chambre, je vous conseille d'économiser votre souffle. On va prendre la une.
Oh, for the love of the law. All right. Fine. I can see when I've been beaten. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me.
Oh!
I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care.
Sans qu'on se batte. Je suis content que nous ayons pu régler cette histoire sans violence. En vrai, ouais.
I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell. Captain.
Punaise, trop bien. J'ai acheté toutes les mines alors qu'au final on a tiré sur personne. Incroyable. Ah.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Est-ce que ça va? Est-ce qu'ils vous ont fait quelque chose?
I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
J'ai peur de ce que vous allez m'annoncer.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Il y a une question que j'aimerais vous poser.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé d'après vous?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
Vous avez parlé d'une frégate qui aurait disparu.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
Il y a autre chose. Je suis au courant pour le reste des colons finesse.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Je vous pardonne.
Thank you. Perhaps in time I'll learn to forgive myself. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
Je n'ai plus de questions, mettons-nous au travail.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
J'ai un plan, le président est à ma botte, personne ne saura que c'est moi. Qui dirige la colonie? Je vais diriger cette colonie moi-même, j'ai déjà convaincu le président de se ranger à mon avis. Vous pouvez compter sur moi, je vais vous aider à réanimer les autres colons. Je vais faire ce que j'ai toujours fait, ce que je veux quand je veux. Bah ouais, je veux bien l'aider, ouais, vous pouvez compter sur moi. Mais j'ai déjà convaincu le président.
The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live, but I'll have to trust your judgment. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
C'est tout?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later, when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor, underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. The destroyed Adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane, ethical Halcyon. They cleared the dead from Gorgon's laboratories and repurposed them to aid in the crucial work of solving the colony's nutrition crisis. Gorgon, which had once sown death and destruction across Halcyon, became a source of hope and renewal. The Gorgon Project's final explosive end was bittersweet for Olivia Ambrose. She wandered the colony's fringes alone, searching for others like her who despised the board and meant to destroy them. In time, she found Phineas Wells and his cadre of scientists, and she joined them in their efforts to save Halcyon. For a while, she even knew an uneasy peace. But for all that, Olivia found purpose in Wells' project. She was always haunted by the memory of her daughter, Minnie, who hadn't lived to see the better world they were building. She never did forgive herself for the horror her work had wrought on Halcyon. But she remembered fondly the daring captain who'd put an end to it at last. In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. Ruth Bellamy never forgot the words you said to her. She coped with Belinda's death by committing to live in a way that would make her sister proud. When the remnants of the colony banded together, Ruth Bellamy was there to help. She devoted her remaining years and resources to saving the colony. Years later, when the worst of the crisis had passed, Aetherways returned to Halcyon's culture. An aging Ruth Bellamy tried her hand at directing. Her first Aetherwave drama was dedicated to the memory of Belinda Bellamy and to her old friend, Captain of the Unreliable. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered Slug's transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cow softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity. The Prophet was not among the bodies. Your influence further cemented Ellie's perspective. She understood she could never truly rely on others, so she set about making sure she wouldn't have to. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She enjoyed a long and infamous career running missions across the system. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believe she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the riot on Tartarus and partnered with Chairman Rockwell to run the colony together. As Halcyon looked toward the future, you remained a constant presence in the colony's administration. You were never weighed down by bureaucracy, and you never had to dirty your hands with politics. You had people who did that for you. By your influence, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Incroyable. Et voilà, c'est terminé. C'était trop bien ce petit résumé à la fin de tous les choix qu'on a fait. Et au final, bah, c'était une bonne fin. Hein. Je sais pas ce que ça donnait si on choisissait le conseil plutôt que Phineas, mais à mon avis, c'était beaucoup moins joyeux. Je sais pas. Je suis curieuse. Hein. En vrai, je pense que je vais aller regarder la fin alternative si jamais tu choisis le conseil, mais je pense que là, on a eu la bonne fin. Bon, mis à part la folle dingue de Eridan, qui a tué tout le monde, j'aurais dû la mettre derrière les barreaux, mais bon. À part ça, pas trop mal, hein. Bon, en tout cas, j'ai adoré, c'était un super jeu. J'ai hâte de faire le deuxième, et de voir tout ce qu'ils ont amélioré, en quelle année ça se passe. J'ai vraiment rien regardé de l'histoire, donc ça va être full découverte. Mais trop cool en tout cas. Je sais pas s'il y a une scène à la fin ou quelque chose. Non, peut-être pas. Bah écoute, merci d'avoir suivi. Hein. C'était franchement super. Hein. J'avoue, j'ai adoré le deuxième DLC là sur Illidan. J'ai bien aimé ce truc de résoudre une enquête et tout. Ça a changé du premier qui était vraiment très très sombre. Et c'était bien qu'on ait pu les faire avant la fin du jeu, comme ça on a eu le résumé de ce qui s'est passé aussi sur ces planètes. Et franchement, trop cool. Trop cool. Ah, c'est mignon, les devs qui mettent des petits messages à leur famille. Oh, les mariages et les enfants. Oh, c'est trop mignon. Bon, eh bien, moi je vais vous laisser là. Je sais pas quand est-ce qu'on se retrouve cette semaine. Je vais peut-être essayer de faire un petit peu de Destiny, mais je sais pas si je le ferai en stream ou quoi. Je risque d'avoir une semaine un petit peu plus chargée, donc à voir. En tout cas, je pense que vendredi, du coup, on commencera Outer Worlds 2. Et puis voilà. Vendredi fin d'après-midi, Outer Worlds 2. Et peut-être du Destiny dans la semaine. Voilà. Merci d'avoir suivi. Et je vous dis à plus tard.